Hello everyone. Hello and welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, Revamp, Redo, Rehash, Reinvigorated, Remastered, Remake, 1.5, Dream Drop Distance, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. How are you all doing? It's been a couple of weeks. Actually, I think it's been more than a couple of weeks, hasn't it? I think, were we doing this after 5.3? It might have been before 5.3 that we were doing this the last time. It might have been more like 3 weeks or a month at this point. We are here, of course, with our friend Ravio and also another friend of ours, Drakne. Last session we did, I asked you to try and remember where we were up to and how much trouble you had with that, even though it was only like a week.
Dungeons, and we did not do Sasastasha, but we also did the whole thing with the Council of Seven. And then we selected Grand Company, where we went with the Yellow Jacket Limsa something. But I will not forget the most important thing that happened last session.
Uh-huh.
You know what that was?
What was that? Remind us.
I got my chocobo. Dude, come on.
Yes, you got your chocobo. Wait, listen, I can't just like let you get away with that. I just want to reiterate here. We got the Yellow Jackets of what did you call it?
No, Grand Company, isn't that the thing we decided?
Yeah, but which Grand Company?
Limsa something.
Wait, say that one more time. One more time.
Limsa something. I don't know.
And what was the Council of Seven?
Luminsa. Okay, sorry. Was it Shrine Council of Seven something?
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. The guys in the basement over in the middle of nowhere.
It's sketchy.
Oh my god. Oh man. All right. Okay. I'll give you like a 6 out of 10. I think, considering it's been so long. That's pretty good. So Drakne started on Gladiator. So you two have both chosen to tank. And I think as a result, we're going to take a little bit of a tangent today. Oh,
by the way, I forgot something.
Mm-hmm.
The most important thing, we actually killed whatever you call it over on this game, but the Diablo-looking son of a bitch and the crying baby who has been after us for a while, who finally died.
The crying baby?
The first dragon Diablo.
The primal? You're talking about a Frit.
Yeah, we did a primal.
Right. Okay. No, we haven't met the crying baby yet.
No, but the douchebag who were backstabbing and selling us out, who actually got killed.
Oh, the one that was like selling people out to the Amaja. Okay, that's the crying baby. All right. Okay, I understand now. Yeah, so you two are both playing a tank. I think we're gonna have to take like a diversion so that we can run these dungeons together and start leveling a DPS class for Rob. And I think we're gonna go and do some Palace of the Dead because we'll be able to level it up like really fast in there. So do you have any idea of which DPS class you got your eyes on? Drak, you can either keep going with the MSQ or whatever it is you're doing, or if you want to take a little bit of a detour and do some of this Palace of the Dead with us. Okay, here's what we're gonna do then. Have you got Sastasha unlocked right now?
Yeah.
Okay. You and I can blast through Sastasha real quick. And then Tamtara when you get to it. So Drakna and I are going to do Sastasha real quick, and then you can go and unlock Tamtara. We'll smash that as well, and then we'll do House of the Dead.
Yep.
So I guess just do the first like couple of rogue quests and work out where you want everything there. Yep. And probably by the time we're done this, Tal will be home, and we can all go in together. So sad you couldn't get your hubby into 14. Oh, I'm sorry, Rini. It is really nice when you have games that you can share with your partner, but whatever you do, do not raid with your significant other. It's my one rule. Raiding together, even with friends, you are gonna like sorely test that friendship.
Then you need better friends.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I hesitate to say WoW Refugees because, as Rob pointed that out to me, it kind of implies that that you've like abandoned Azeroth, that you've permanently left Azeroth behind. I mean, you have, right? Like, you're converted, right? Like, you realize how much better this is.
Week.
Yeah.
Yeah, for another week or
For
two.
another week or two.
Yeah, depends when the pre-patch arrives.
Yeah.
Since we have the release date, we can think 4 weeks pre-patch.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have a date for the pre-patch, so we would think it would drop next week, but then again, the PvP season always get a 14-day notice before the end.
Right, of course.
Which they haven't said anything about yet, so hard to tell.
So it's probably like a couple of weeks away at least then.
Yeah, at least. I would think maybe you only get a 3 weeks pre-patch this time.
And Drat, you're a WoW vet as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
I thought so.
If you want somebody to correct all the mistakes I've told you about the lore and the story, Drat is probably the guy to do it.
Alright, okay. I will keep that in mind. You see, up until now, you've been able to say pretty much whatever the hell you want about WoW, and I'm just like, oh yeah, just assuming that you're an expert when probably just making half of it up.
The biggest pleb there is.
The thing is, even with the ARR Revamp, 14 is still much more story-driven than WoW in particular. And so much of the leveling content is about grinding through this, this epic, like almost, at least like at times, almost a single-player JRPG. And it's not really until like you're at endgame or you're leveling alts where the leveling experience is more of an MMO,
Are we talking Final Fantasy or?
Yeah, we're talking Final Fantasy. Yeah, like your first job, your main job, 14, your leveling is really all pushing through the story.
Well, we did discuss that last time. Like, Final Fantasy is like 70% dialogue and lore and everything.
Yeah.
While World of Warcraft is more a hey, go kill this, punch this.
Yeah.
Go there, talk to this, and done.
Yeah.
But if you, especially the older games, you had much more lore-driven everything.
Yeah.
And also, if you check out more the behind the scenes or the lore that came in between Warcraft 3 and World of Warcraft, and the backstory of everything, there's a lot of literature. If you really want a lore perspective from
that's the other thing, right? And I think we've talked about that before, how most of the lore in WoW is non-diegetic, right? It's like novels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So much of it is outside of the game, which is cool, but also I don't know. It makes it like less approachable, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's, I guess, a point for WoW is that it's easy digestible for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need to pay attention to like all the details and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Whereas in 14, like, you can get to a point if you haven't been paying attention to the story of like what is going on, what is even happening. And the interesting thing about Shadowbringers, the latest expansion, is Yoshida wanted it to be like a story that can stand on its own and can be really interesting and compelling to people that either have skipped the previous expansions or weren't like invested in paying attention to the previous expansions. But also like for people that have, it's just that much more rewarding and that much more engaging. And it seems like the critical reception was like, that was basically the case. Like there were so many, I mean, journalists in particular that like hadn't played the previous expansions that were still like, wow, this story is so good and makes me want to like go back and play the rest of it. And I think that's the experience of like most 14 players, is that you start off and you're kind of like half invested in the story, but just like, all right, let me just get through it, get to end game, you know, I'm playing an MMORPG, whatever. And then there's like a point where it sort of hooks you and you're like, oh shit, okay, no, I'm in. But the interesting thing is that like 14 and WoW's endgame are quite similar. Like they're not homogenous by any means, but it's a similar sort of gameplay loop of, you know, doing daily and weekly like dungeons and stuff and doing your raids and
Yeah, now we got a tower as well.
Oh shit, you're getting a tower. Yeah, you are getting a tower. That's right. You're getting like a Heaven on High kind of Palace of the Dead thing. That's so funny. I think it's so interesting how WoW has been like coming back and like emulating these more successful types of side content that 14's innovated.
Yeah, but didn't also 14 now take some stuff, or looking into some stuff from World of Warcraft again?
Yeah, I think so.
Or, am I mistaken? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, like
aspects of
14
games, like,
ARR like was. I mean, you know, the label is definitely reductionist, but it was a WoW clone.
yeah,
Like 1.0 failed because they were like, hey, let's make like an updated sort of version of Final Fantasy 11. People were like, nah, don't do that, actually. Make it more like WoW. And Yoshida was like, all right, let's make it more like WoW. And then sort of innovated from there.
I don't remember who said it, but Yoshida was kind of a big fan of Diablo 2 and
Yes.
the original Diablo.
Yeah, and Palace of the Dead, so this content that we're going to be doing in a little bit is, in a lot of ways, Yoshida's, like, love letter to the Diablo franchise.
So, dungeon crawler kind of...
Yeah, it's like a randomly generated dungeon crawler that it has 200 floors and gets, like, exponentially more difficult the further you get down.
Yeah.
And it's a really, like, it's a good way to level jobs, but you also have like a different leveling system in there where like your level, this is hard to explain, your level in Palace of the Dead and your level outside of Palace of the Dead are two different things. So you will very quickly get to like level 50 down there, and you will have, you know, all your skills and abilities and stuff. And then when you come out, you'll be, you know, back to whatever level it is that you went in with, plus, you know, a big chunk of experience. It gives you like a really nice way to sample a job. You can like pick up a job at level 1 and then have it at level 50 in Palace of the Dead within a couple of hours, and you get like, I guess, an idea of what it feels like at that level.
Yeah, you can try it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of.
Is a Tactics Ogre love letter? Yeah, it is a Tactics Ogre love letter as well. I think that's fair to say. But Yoshida was saying at the time and before it first launched that it was inspired by Diablo, and that he's like a long time fan of the Diablo franchise.
Oh, by the way, did you check out the one from the stream I linked you? Allcraft
No, I didn't. I didn't have time, dude. It was like a 2-hour video.
That's true.
This is the one about Asmon talking to... Who is he talking to?
He is having a stream with a guy called Rich, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they do guests.
Yeah.
So they're always hosting, and they've done guests like bigger World of Warcraft streamers and other bigger names. But last time they did 1 out of 3 OG game devs from Vanilla WoW. And he's been working in like Blizzard for 11 years or something, and now he's been off the books from Blizzard for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the original founders of Warcraft.
Okay.
Or World of Warcraft.
Okay. Well, that would be
And
a
he
really
really
interesting convo.
Didn't leave anything out, to be honest. He said what he had on his mind.
So I take it he was quite critical of like post Activision decisions.
Yeah. I didn't quite understand why they've gone this way and done certain things.
Hmm.
Because like now we're getting the level squish from 120 back down to 60 as maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did initially was made it so the level scaling and everything, even when they just released the first game, they had thought of like the numbers in level 80, 85, and everything, which got thrown out in the window at the second expansion or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they like had a formula to be able to do like a complete, not having to squish everything or rebalance everything
Right.
for each expansion.
Ravio and Ragnar would not describe themselves as refugees. That's me like projecting and wishful thinking. But you know, we'll get them. We'll get them. We'll nail them. Speaking of Asmon did a video recently where he was like reacting to some WoW Refugee talking about 14, right?
Yeah.
So there's been a bunch of 14 content creators that have done like reaction videos to Asmon reacting to this guy.
Yeah.
And there's part of me that is so tempted just to like stack that up and do like Ethys reacts to this guy reacting to Asmon reacting to this reacting to just see how deep we can go. Just reactions all the way down.
Shit out of that title though.
Huh?
I guess. No, just clickbait the shit out of that title like everyone else does.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? A chain reaction, yeah. Yeah. And then I can get someone to react to my reaction, and then I can react to them reacting to my reaction to, I guess, Work the Game's reaction to Asmon's reaction to this guy's reaction to Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, Zeppler did it as well? Okay, well, I can react to Zeppler's reaction, to Asmon's reaction to this guy's reaction to 14, and then I can get someone else. I can get like Mike to react to my reaction to Zeppler's reaction to Asmon's reaction to this guy's reaction to 14. What's the TLDR of this Asmon guy? Asmon Gold is the I would say these days like pretty standout, the most popular World of Warcraft content creator.
He is the biggest in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't stand the guy before, but he have done a break and it's been like, you can actually tell.
He's actually tolerable now.
Yeah, no, it's actually a character. Like he's been like distinct.
Yeah.
Thing for. Long time World of Warcraft player, streamer, probably one of the first to actually make a streamer.
Yeah. I think so. He plays a character that's kind of.
Asmon Gold is a dick, to put it lightly. To be honest. But he also started a second channel where he streams without his persona, and the guy is actually decent. He's says what it means, and there's no bullshit. And he stands up to. He's been on the heels of all the World of Warcraft devs and interviews and everything. And there's actually been changes on the beta after he has voiced concerns.
Which I'm sure he has like no qualms about bragging about on the regular. Wait, wasn't there something where he was like being criticized for basically taking credit for something that got done in game?
I'm not sure.
Like something got changed as a result of something he was talking about, and he was like, "Oh, that was me. You're welcome."
Well, that's kind of the Asmongold character
Yeah,
101.
yeah,
His chat is super toxic. His persona is, not
yeah.
fun.
So Asmon's not necessarily a pissant. His character's a pissant.
Yeah, but the dude in himself is really good. Like, he's probably the longest and the biggest streamer on Twitch.
Mhm.
And to explain how his way of living is, he bought the house his mother is living in because she's like been sick or bad or whatever, and he's living there taking care of her, and he has so much money. Like, look at all the other huge names in the industry. All of them have like big houses or nice. He drives a 2000 something old chick's Mustang. Streams from his loft or whatever, and eats dinner with his mom every day.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So, under all the toxic chat and
Listen. The cynic in me wants to say that, like, being good to your mum and when you earn a shitload of money buying your mum a house is, like, the bare minimum requirements for being a decent human being. But at the same time, good on him, I guess, you know? Good on him.
yeah, but most people would just buy the house and say goodbye.
Would they?
go
Would
to
most people
Vegas,
really do
Vegas or
that?
something.
Maybe
Like,
you're
if
right.
I had so many millions, I would just pay off my parents' loan, I guess, and just here, have fun. And I'm not saying it's like Ethys the leaders, I'm not gonna talk to you and ever again. But like, the money would go to my head for sure. If I had several $1 million.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? It's like it's really hard to
wouldn't-
understand like what that kind of money does to someone's ego, and like what kind of I guess like psychological growth you have to get through to not be a douchebag.
No. Also, I'm trying to think in English.
Yeah, I know it's tough.
So I feel like something is lost in translation right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have got to remember that Ravio's English is very good, but his first language is Norsk. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be able to have these conversations in Norsk when I'm not so fucking lazy. But for now, jeg forstår ikke.
Ja, hallo fisk.
Jeg liker fisk.
Du
Where
er
I'm
en
from, you
pudding.
get very far with just.
Nej, du er en pudding. Sorry,
I'm not
Drac, what are you saying?
he is- Sorry.
I was saying, jeg liker fisk is a line you'll get very far with where I'm from.
People invite you in gladly.
Yes.
Ah, you liker
Liker
fisk
fisk,
også.
Yes.
Okay, I think I've got it. I'll start over. If you take aside his persona and whatever he's doing as an entertainer on Twitch, he is a humble, straightforward, speaks his mind, and has good values. Basically,
Okay.
yeah, his persona is somewhat a dick.
Yeah.
If I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable. I know people like this. And the thing is, like, it's a tough thing as a content creator. There are some people that definitely prefer like characters as streamers and content creators. And there are some people that prefer people that are more real, more genuine, more transparent. I am someone who prefers the latter in the content that I consume, and I'm also someone that like aspires to be the latter in what I put out. Like I want to be approachable and genuine to my viewers, because I find that I don't know, it's just like more my speed, more my style. And it's easy for those of us who like one type of content to be critical of the other. But you got to understand that like what Asmon does, and then even in like the 14 community, we have like character actors as well. We've got people like Xenos, right? And I think that Xenos and Asmon's characters are quite similar. And Nero back in like Limit Break Radio days, right? Like the person and the persona, the sort of the host personality, I guess, are two like very distinct entities, and you've got to be able to like separate them. And you can dislike the approach of one and still have, respect for the person that's behind it. Arthas, yeah, Arthas is another good example, right? Like, Arthas is such a nice guy, such a great guy, and he fucking turns it on so hard, the stream, because that's what sells for him. That's why he's successful. That's how he's able to make money doing this thing. And like,
I'm
all
gonna
power to
join
him.
Grim on that one for a sec, if I can interrupt. There's a Final Fantasy streamer with a persona named Arthas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a Final Fantasy XIV streamer called Arthas. Yeah. And yes, he took the name from WoW.
Yeah.
But he's very like, he's gotten banned a couple of times in game because, he'll like rage out at people on stream and start like, yelling at them and belittling them and whatever. But he's not doing it seriously. Like, he's doing it for the laughs. And a lot of people love it, but some people, particularly when they're on the receiving end of it, don't super love it and can fall into the trap. I guess there's a difference between being a dick and behaving like a dick, Does that make any sense? And Arthas is like that. Xenos is like that. They're both like really, nice, wonderful people that just kind of play this character that kind of like corners a particular aspect of the community that like resonates with certain people, and it's their bread and butter, and all power to them. It's a character. They're character actors. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The Ellen thing in reverse. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think so, Rita. Like my streamer hat and my YouTuber hat, they're two different hats. I would say that in my scripted videos, that's hard though. Is it a persona? Because that's how I write, like when I'm writing, that's how I write. And that's like an organic way for me to communicate in writing. And then when I read it, it's obviously I'm communicating in a different way to how I would naturally speak, but it's not like an unnatural way for me to communicate. But that said, yeah, I mean, like when I started doing YouTube content, I was doing like a couple of different things, right? And then people like grabbed onto this idea of me being like the lore scholar. And I was like, all right, I can do that. I will be that. And the longer you do it, the longer you do something, the more like the gap closes, if that makes any sense. Like since I started streaming, I've become a lot more like outgoing and a lot more personable than I was before. And all of the like social anxiety and stuff that I used to be burdened with has kind of evaporated as a result. So I kind of wonder that like if you play a dickhead as a character for 10 years, would you not end up becoming just at least a little bit of a dickhead?
But then again, in your case, I guess the biggest difference isn't necessarily two different personas, but the presence and pretense, like the difference between being live with a live audience, everything going without any form of control of the narrative, compared to actually have been able to write it down or rewrite it even. and then delivering it in that form.
Yeah, there's
That's
like
the biggest difference.
there's a
which-
difference between
yeah.
how you communicate intuitively and how you communicate like with forethought, I guess. Yeah. The plot of Mean Girls. Do you think that Asmon's life is like the plot of Mean Girls? When I first started streaming, I had this huge insecurity, right, where people would expect me to be exactly like I am on YouTube in my scripted videos. They'd expect me to be that same person on stream and to be always like so articulate and so thoughtful and so like, you know, preloaded with all this knowledge that I don't necessarily constantly carry around in my back pocket, right? We do have like a lot of lore discussions on stream, and I think they're, you know, interesting and engaging, and I enjoy doing them. But of course, they're never going to be so, I guess, stars nowhere near as terse, but also nowhere near as like poignant and well constructed and well articulated as they are when I've sat down and like written a script for a video, you know? And occasionally I will have to look something up, or I won't be 100% certain. I'll have to like double check something. And yeah, I had a huge amount of insecurity about that because, you know, they're different parts of my personality, and the tone of streaming is a lot more kind of organic and conversational. And I thought that people were going to be, I don't know, disappointed, I guess, in some way. I always remember Neil Gaiman, right? The writer. He's always suffered a similar thing, right? Where he writes these characters, these tall, dark, brooding, very handsome male characters, and he'll go to conventions where people will expect him to like look like the Sandman, for instance, and him just being this like short, weedy little nerdy guy with glasses. He's like, I don't want to go to this con and do panels because people are going to be so disappointed. It's kind of like that, I guess. Anyway, yeah, Ethys reacts to Zeppler, reacts to Asmon, reacts to WoW Veteran, reacts to Final Fantasy XIV. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
We're getting a lot of projects now.
Hell yeah. Oh, dude, the imposter syndrome is so real. It's so real. I know very few content creators that don't suffer from it. And the ones that don't suffer from it suffer from the complete opposite, which is just rampant, unadulterated narcissism. There's two types of content creators. There's the one that suffers from imposter syndrome, and there's the one that thinks they're just the absolute bee's knees, you know, that just genuinely thinks they are the shit. And I'm a little bit envious of them, if I'm going to be completely honest, because, man, it would be so nice to be able to do stuff with that kind of confidence and not have any sort of like, you know, self-doubt or I guess like realistic expectations or self-criticism or anything like that in the way, and just think that everything you make is fucking gold. That'd be great. All right, okay, you ready, Drac? Let's do it. Let me switch back over to my white mage. My conjurer, I should say, not a white mage yet. Oh, by the way, have I showed you guys the new emotes? The work in progress emotes? Or are we? Okay, here we go. Oh, these ones? I'm so excited. And the new logo work in progress as well. Wow. I know that Xenos one is... Oh, it's so good, isn't it? So good. It's beautiful. It's not a Venture Bros reference. It's the handsome Squidward. But Xenos. That was what I said when I commissioned that email. I was like, all right, I want it to be a handsome Squidward, but Xenos. Now, you guys haven't met Xenos yet, but you'll understand. Everyone is very, very thirsty for Xenos, yay Galvus. Did you guys see the Final Fantasy XVI trailer? Holy shit. So that's Yoshida as well. He's producing that. A lot of the Final Fantasy XIV team that were working on A Realm Reborn and Heavensward got like inexplicably moved over to a secret project several years ago. So everyone's pretty certain that they're working on 16 as well, which is very exciting because the lead main scenario writer for ARR and Heavensward is among that crew. And yeah, Hiroshi Takai is directing it, yeah. And we're pretty certain that Soken is composing, is doing the soundtrack. After 15, you're iffy about 16? Listen, 15 was like extenuating circumstances and got stuck in like development hell for a long time. You know what was iffy before Yoshida came along? It was Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, alright?
Oof. Big oof.
Yeah, I think the fact that Yoshida's producing it means... he's earned our faith at this point, don't you think, Caleb? 15 could have been great. Yeah, and honestly, like, the Royal Edition for 15 was really good. It was the first that I played it, so I didn't get the bad taste from the original PlayStation release of it when it was, not a finished game. But I really enjoyed the Royal Edition. Trust him more than Nomura? Yeah, I trust him way more than Nomura. And it was a shame that they didn't get through all of the episodes. The Season 2 episodes. Yeah, Ryota Suzuki, yeah. Who did the fight design for DMC5 and Dragon's Dogma, yeah. It seems fairly self-evident that he's on the team as well. We're doing a TBG show this weekend, myself and Mike and Sly, which we haven't done for a little while, where we're going to be talking about the PS5 showcase and mostly about Final Fantasy 16. So hope you guys catch that. And those of you on YouTube, it might be up on Mike's YouTube already, so you should check it out. The fuck was that?
What?
I just heard someone making a maniacal laugh there somewhere.
Oh, that's probably Aurora, I guess.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. Very Richard.
Talk
Yeah, that was not me.
That was not you?
No, I have myself muted.
Oh, okay. Let's go do...
Chocobo!
Yeah, I can see your Chocobo's beautiful. Now let's go and do one of these fates. So, hey, by the way, Tal, your microphone sounds like shit.
It does?
Yeah, it normally sounds...
Sounds like a box.
It normally sounds way better than that.
Yeah.
Do you know why? It's because I forgot to turn on.
You got to turn on what? Yeah, that's better. Was it your headset one there?
No, my headset doesn't have one.
Wow.
I think it might have been my...
Webcam or something?
Webcam something, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sounded like a webcam mic.
Is my clicking very... Do you really hear my clicking that well?
Yep.
Okay, well,
What even
then
are
I
you
need
clicking
to
on?
talk.
Only that, like, super loud click that you did. The regular clicking is fine.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
like Switch or something.
Yeah.
It's my jumpy jump.
What? Oh, that's your what do you call it? Your
Keypad.
Oh yeah. Tal plays with a keypad.
Oh, she one of them fancy one.
Yeah, one of them
It's
fancy
because
ones.
I got a tiny hand.
Is that
Playing
your
One
excuse?
tiny hand.
Just one, yeah. She's got one normal hand and one tiny hand. Yeah, so she has the keypad for the
And I
little one.
guess the right one is the normal one. So
You guys are idiots.
what did you expect? Teaming
It
all
is really hard playing an MMO on a large keyboard when you're tiny.
a smaller keyboard, buy a TKL keyboard.
Why would I do that when I can buy a keypad?
The keypad is pretty cool.
Keypad. It is really nice and it supports my hand really well. Love it.
I had a is it Logitech G13 or something. It's named. Yeah, I did one World of Warcraft raid and I yielded that shit so far out of the room and you have no
Really?
idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it that bad? I was just telling Rob that I should be paying for his sub because, you know, I'm making him play this with me and then putting ads on it and making money. Yeah, I told you,
Bad English and bad memory.
Bad English, bad memory, bad playing, bad takes, just like rampantly offensive. I don't know, people seem to be into that. I said the first episode of this I put up on YouTube, we've got like 15,000 views on it, which is a lot for me. That's like quite a bit. Definitely more than I was expecting. So, yeah, I feel like I should be paying his sub. Has Twitch/Amazon implemented midstream ads on your streams? Oh, they better not have. I know that they've, either way, they've like finished that trial, so they're not doing it for anyone at the moment, but God, that was such a bad idea, such a bad take. So they just started a trial. No, they were only doing it for a couple of days, and then they were like, oh, the trial's concluded, when I reckon they just pulled the plug on it because they were getting such negative press for it.
What the hell
So
did
stupid.
they expect?
I don't know. I don't know. They are so out of touch with their both their streamers and their consumers. They are just so out of touch. Like
people are buying a sub to get away from the ads and everything.
yeah, and fine, you know,
If
that's
they're,
money, but it's like literally the worst reason for people to be subbing.
No, but like that's something people often advertise, like sub-free viewership or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're decent enough not to run ad block and actually give the revenue to a streamer,
Mm-hmm.
then at least let the streamer decide either on beforehand when they join in.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you did the 5.3 one,
Mm-hmm.
and then a sub came in like the biggest, most important. Ad came. In
Yeah,
the
well, that's
biggest, most
exactly the thing,
important.
right? That would be
Like, what the hell?
shit. That'd be terrible. And that's like, I don't know how they could possibly think that's a good idea. And the way to like mitigate that is, you know, to run ads regularly. Because we can like manually run ads like whenever, and they seem to be implying that like if you're doing that like every 15 minutes, then you won't get these mid-roll ads. But like, I'm not running ads because the CPM for Twitch is shit, and I'm asking people to give me money. You know, I'm asking people to sub and support me that way. So why, like, it seems kind of egregious to sort of run ads on top of that. So if they end up like rolling this out, this mid-roll ad thing, I'm just gonna be telling people like the CPM is garbage for Twitch. You know, I make like nothing from ad revenue on Twitch anyway. I would encourage people to use ad block if they do that. Just be like, yeah, just use ad block on my channel, and then, you know, consider subbing to me. Don't use ad block on my YouTube, please, because, you know, that's the only way I make money on YouTube. But the CPM for Twitch is so negligible. It's good for them. Like, it makes Twitch money, and it attracts more advertisers to them, to you know, increase their return. But like, it's not like, hey, we're gonna run more ads, and as a result, we're gonna give you a better revenue share. You know, if they came to me and they were like, hey, we're gonna change your revenue share to 70-30, and in return, we're going to require you to run an ad every, 20 minutes or half hour, or else, we'll do like automated mid-roll, I'd be like, yeah, all right, fine. Yeah, sure, sweet, cool. That would be acceptable. But, it's not better for us. It's not better for streamers. They're not using it to like, mitigate the cost of giving us, better deal, better revenue share or whatever. They're just being shit. Just sucks. You got that YouTube Premium? Oh, well, thanks for that, Hort, because I benefit from that. I get a little bit from the YouTube Premium. I mean, let's be real, like, the CPM from YouTube isn't real good either. but
it's better.
It's better, and it's all you get from YouTube. Oh my goodness, Gumi, mate, thank you so much for those gift subs. I really appreciate it. I promise that wasn't me, like, fishing for subs, talking about how shit the CPM was, but I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Here, you've got these emotes to look forward to. You're surprised that it's Xenos and not Gaius? Listen, I want it to be Gaius, but Xenos is more, like, resonates more with the community, and people being thirsty for Xenos is a meme. Whereas people being thirsty for Gaius is, I mean, A, not as common, and B, like, serious business. Alright? You think, well, it's you and me and Moose. I know Moose is a huge Gaius simp as well.
Oh my god, we are gonna have so much fun.
Oh my god. That's how Moose and I, like, first bonded, basically. We were rivals. It's kind of like in Batman versus Superman, when Batman's about to kill Superman and they find out that their mother both has the same first name. That was like me and Moose. Moose was like on top of me, choking me out, platonically, I should say. I should just be clear there. And as the life was fading from my eyes, I was like, tell Gaius that I always love him. And then Moose was like, why did you say that name? And yeah, we found out that both of our mothers' names are Gaius Van Belsar, and now we're in the Justice League together. Yeah.
Yeah. Still a better love story than Twilight.
It's the best love story. Moose and I adversarial because we disagree in almost every lore prediction. Yeah, we used to.
Moose is so beautiful when he smiles. I'd never seen him before.
Oh my god. That's right, you hadn't seen him until that show.
Yeah, and when he smiles.
Oh god.
Oh my god, he is so gorgeous. And he has like the most lovely smile I've ever seen.
Oh my god. Please no one ever show this to Moose. Because I'm pretty sure that my girlfriend wants to have a threesome with him now.
No, it's not gonna be a threesome, it's gonna be a foursome with Gaius.
Okay, alright. Anyway. For you two WoW nerds here, Moose, Anonymous, a friend of mine, was the, like, lore expert on the Final Fantasy XIV official forums since 1.0, so since, like, 2010. And, he actually edited the most recent lore book that was published. So when I started making content at the beginning of 2015, there was a lot of people in the community that, like, imposed this rivalry, I guess. I was making the video content and he'd been doing this, like, written, like, lore post, more sort of esoteric stuff that was only really accessible to people that were, lurking on the lore forums. And I was, like, popularizing it, I guess. Yeah, so people sort of invented this beef between us, and invested so much into it that the two of us kind of, like, started to believe it ourselves. where I was like,
Wow.
oh shit, this guy must like really hate me. And Moose was like, oh shit, this guy must really hate me. And then when we met, we like, you know, really sort of hit it off. And found out that we were
now
both
I'm
obsessed
going
with
to
its...
take on the lore world.
Found out we were both obsessed with Gaius Van Belsar. I'm up this late because I am playing with some fellow Noshk jabronis, some WoW refugees, some I would say like closet WoW refugees because they haven't admitted it yet, but they're never going back to the world of WoW because I'm not going to let them because I've actually like hacked them and cancelled their service account and deleted all their characters. So they're WoW, they're refugees now.
Too?
Huh?
I don't have an recurring sub on World of Warcraft.
Oh, you don't? Oh well, that's it. That was easy then. Easy.
I pay when I need to pay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you're just making it really easy for me.
We're coming to World of Warcraft in 2 weeks' time.
Well, I cancelled all your credit cards, so
Then I'll use Aurora's.
I cancelled hers as well. Yeah. Yeah. You guys are
Cancelled every credit card except his own.
I did. I cancelled everyone's credit card except my own. How do you feel about that? What you gonna do, bitch? Did we do a law standoff when we met? Yeah. Yeah, everyone...
I know where you live.
I
will get that.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna like drive your car into my living room? What's your car got anything to do with it? Oh shit, you will?
It's a Volvo, it's a tank, so...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Why WoW refugees? Why not? Why the hell not? These guys are giving like a really interesting perspective on the ARR Revamp. You know, because like the purpose of the ARR Revamp, right, is to make the game more approachable to new players. That's like bottom line what the ARR Revamp is for. And I think the best way to assess the veracity of that is to bring along
Thank you, Webster.
WoW veterans. You know? Does that make sense?
There's a really old Norwegian like tongue twister, which basically is those who say you're dumb, those are the dumb ones or something.
Okay, lay it on me.
Dom som sier dumme dom. Dumme dom dom.
Never.
Wait.
Never heard.
Say it from the top and say it slowly.
Dom.
Yeah.
Som sier dom dom. Dom dom dom.
Now say it quickly.
Yeah. Dom som sier dom dom. Dom dom dom.
Dom say
Dom is because you have dum, also D-U-M.
Yeah.
And D-O-M is like a dialect word for day or die.
Dom said dum. The dum. Is that it? Did I do it?
If Tal would say Tal, kan du spørre om vi skal sove? Okay. Never mind. Proper Norwegian would say skal vi sove i en sovepose på stuegulvet og spise popcorn? Which is basically, should we be sleeping in a sleeping bag in the living room eating popcorn? And the old dialect from where I'm from would say, skal vi sove i sovepose på støvegulvet etter popcorn?
So stupid.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question. Skal vi spise popcorn? We do have some.
Do you want some popcorn?
Ja, skal vi
can have that
spise det popcorn? Is that grammatically correct?
Don't
No,
bring
not
all of
at
that
all.
during Glötzerian.
Fuck. What about spise vi popcorn?
No.
Fuck.
Past 2 weeks is basically collecting all content, mounts, achievements, transmogs,
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got a few new really cool mounts. So
Hey, nice.
Only
Even got-
cool mount is the tortoise mount.
What?
Tortoise.
You want
Yes,
to
the
try that again?
Tortoise.
One more time. One more? Just one more shot at that?
Tortoise.
Okay, you want to maybe take a third?
The turtle mount.
Right, did you take the airship here rather than just fucking teleporting?
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting the teleporting shit. Jesus. Yeah.
Jeez. All right. No, I mean that's fine. Like you're role playing as a character that can't use magic. Is that it? Now, I did tell you, everyone, chat, YouTube, that this episode was going to be tangential. Was going to be about us recruiting still more WoW refugees and getting them back up to speed. But Palace of the Dead's great. I'm excited to do some Palace of the Dead. There's an achievement in game, the Necromancer, for completing Palace of the Dead to floor 200 solo, and I think there's maybe 15 people in the world that have it. Oh yeah,
Never
Angelus
gonna
got
finish.
Necromancer on a free trial account. Yeah, that's true. Just to like prove that it was possible. Yeah, I know Zeppler's been doing some attempts. Has anyone solid Heaven on High to 100? I had the impression that a few people had. I had the impression that like more people had done it in Heaven on High than Palace of the Dead. So, on the left you see your Ether Pool Arm and Armor, which is like basically instead of gear in here, like your gear attributes and your item level don't mean anything. You'll increase your Ether Pool levels from blue chests, blue and silver chests, and then these red and gold chests you will get Pomanders for, which have various attributes which you can see in the items there. So basically, once we kill a certain number of enemies, we can proceed to the next floor, and we just try and get as deep as we can. There's like hidden traps and stuff like that, and all kinds of variable effects, and yeah, I'm sure we'll kind of think of stuff as we go.
you do actually get the XP carries on outside of this.
You get, okay, so you won't be the same level. Like, you could get up to level 50 in here in like an hour, and you won't come out and be level 50, but when you come out, you get a big chunk of experience. Does that make any sense?
Yep.
Okay. And these Pomanders that we're getting, we keep them for like the whole run all the way down. So ideally, we want to kind of save them for like later floors where it becomes more difficult and they become more valuable.
I was telling my colleague at work today how you head butted the door.
Oh, that's nice.
The
Yeah,
door
how I
frame?
walked into the door frame.
Yeah, and I was laughing so hard I was barely able to tell the story of how stupid you looked.
So Tal was like, I was standing in the doorway and Tal was like trying to slap me on the butt or something. And I like,
Oh,
I tried to dodge out of the way and I just slammed my head into the door frame and nearly knocked myself out. Yeah.
Dude, that was so
Right.
cool. You look like Donald Duck, and I can't believe that I caught all of that.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was just for you.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did it deliberately. I'm the next Rowan Atkinson. I'm just trying to bring joy through my my unique brand of slapstick comedy. It was painful, yeah, it was quite painful. It's
Painfully hilarious.
yeah, well, you know, if you're gonna hurt yourself, you might as well do it in a way that brings joy to fucking sadist that you live with.
I mean, what?
What? Oh, and if you guys are at all interested in the lore of this place, our weapons are glowy because, basically, our weapons and armor are useless in here, and we're needing to use our own ether to make these like spectral projected weapons.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's like spirit particles, like in Bleach.
Yeah, I guess, you fucking weeb.
It is so, like, how many times have I used Bleach as a way to explain lore?
Way too many times. I don't love it.
Why? It's good.
There it is. Thank you, Control. So this is the ruins of Galmora, which is where the Duskwire originally came from. We were talking about that last time, weren't we, Rob? About the elementals.
Spirits, yeah, elements and the nasty stuff. And...
Yeah, and how everyone was living underground before they were allowed to live in the forest. This is part of it.
So this is my home. I'm home.
Yeah, so this is Galmora, but there's something in here, some antagonistic presence, which is using weird like illusion magics and all kinds of stuff, which is why it's like this randomly generated maze, effectively, is because we're under the influence of these illusions that have been placed on it.
Look at the little froggy.
According to that cutscene, the President is wearing pumps.
Yeah, you both saw the cutscene, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you recognize that character at all?
No, I'm Final Fantasy noob, so
I don't want to spoil anything. I really don't want to spoil anything. It'll definitely play into something that I told you to pay attention to before, Rob.
I guess we're speaking masked people.
Maybe. Yeah, it makes a lot less sense if you haven't done Tamtara hard mode, but that's alright. It's okay. That's true, Stygian. Yeah, there's a bunch of NPCs in here that are that have died in the main scenario quests. You see wandering around down here. Oh no. Oh. Okay, so Rob, you remember Dolores Bear, the one that when we were in Limps was like, "Oh, I want to be just like you one day. You're my hero." And then we found out that they'd gone into Copperbell Mine before we did, and they died. Remember that? Yeah, that was one of his party. And when she was dying, she said something about Dolores there.
Outside the mines, right?
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. So yeah, she's down here. She's dead, and we just killed her again. But she's down here for some reason.
Oh, the one I pulled.
Yeah, the Mikote that had the spear.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Is she not? I understand why you don't want to raid with her.
With Tal? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, this fucking slime, man.
At least if she keeps just running in random directions, then...
Yeah, she'll do that. Do that.
Leave
Alright, well, I
party
guess we're
more.
going to the next floor. Come on, then.
I can't hear anyone.
What? What? Are you
Oh,
muting us?
No, I can hear you, but I can't hear Robert.
You can't hear
Hello?
Rob? Have you muted
I
him?
had that problem
No, I
just
have not.
going as well, but I can hear him now.
Yeah, I can.
Adjust his volume or something.
That's
I did
weird.
have to leave and
Let
relive
me jump
because
in now.
apparently
Okay.
no one heard me.
Alright, I'll pull Tal down
But I
again.
see I'm like yellow on voice connection as well, so...
Oh, you're lagging a bit?
No, I've been like this the whole day, but I think Discord maybe have some issues.
Yeah, that's probably it. Misfortune. There it is. Ooh! Okay, you just reminded me of another important rule. Don't open chests when you're not on full health.
No.
because sometimes they'll explode and sometimes there'll be a mimic. And
Did anyone die?
no one died. But if we wipe, we lose our progress.
So you gotta go all the way back to like floor 1.
No, for us, I think we just have to go back to like the last, like we'd go back to 10. When did I have plans of moving back to Australia? Listen, it's 2020. It's kind of hard to have plans of moving anywhere. You know what I mean? It's dependent on a lot of things. Back to floor 11, yeah. Yeah, someone in chat was actually asking earlier. I'm not in Australia at the moment. I am Australian. I'm not in Australia. I am. Oh, I'm gonna take the succubus one. You can open that chest. I'm not in Australia. I am in Norway.
Man, you're stupid. You moved to Norway.
I know I am. I'm
It's where you
crazy.
should be. Okay?
Crazy. And I was planning on going back home to visit in like January or February. Oh shit, I'm in trouble. Oh, never mind, I leveled up. I'm good now. I was planning on going back to visit in January or February, but it's not gonna happen now with everything that's going on in the world. That's right, yeah, I got pillaged by my Viking girlfriend, yeah. Yeah, it was a raiding party. They raided Avalon Beach, and I was, out having a surf, and this Viking longship came in from nowhere and just like bonked me on the head with an oar, and next thing I woke up when we were halfway across the Pacific. So it sucks. Wonder if 14 would get a Viking tank. I mean, that's basically what Marauder is. You gotta remember that Limsa Lominsa was effectively founded by Vikings. And the Marauder tradition evolved from theirs. Yeah, the Sea Wolves are from the Northern Empty, from the frozen islands up north, basically Scandinavia. And a fleet of them were fleeing after a disastrous naval encounter. Think like the Trojans, basically. And they sailed down south and they got marooned on Vilbrand and basically dismantled their ships and built Limsa Lominsa and started, their little nation and stealing land from the kobolds. And we should be level 50 by the time we get through these 10 levels, I think. It's 10 floors, I should say. So you're still missing a lot of the actions that you have at level 50 because a lot of them are job actions.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the trio outside of Sostasha or something?
Yes! Exactly, it's Edda.
That's the first group.
Yeah, the first group that we ran into.
Shit. Yeah, Edda, yeah.
Yeah, and they were complaining about a healing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
her.
their guild, that their leader died.
Their leader died. Aviri died, and I don't know if you caught it, but we know already by now that she's been carrying his head around.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, the thing on the shoulder.
What about the thing on her
No.
shoulder?
She had a head with some flapper wings or something sitting on her shoulder.
Oh, you saw that, did you? Alright, okay. You have been paying attention. Oh, you're making me a very happy lore boy.
Isn't there any skills after level 38? Or should I have a new job at that point?
Yeah, you should have your job at level 30. So most of your skills after level 30 will come from your job and not from your class. So you should have a couple of class skills after 38.
I don't.
Last one I got
38 and 50. Yeah.
Death Blossom at 38.
Oh, okay.
I don't have level 50.
Yeah, ninja is super job based. So you'll get your ninjutsu, which is basically like this casting system, where you will have like DPS casts and buff casts and stuff like this with these 3 abilities that you use in like different orders to make different effects. this really interesting system for Ninja.
Oh, this is some Diablo-esque thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no cow level.
You're out of the loop. All right, so Moose and I were doing a Mog Talk last week on Frosty's show, right? For episode 200, we were doing a segment, and Moose had his webcam activated from work meetings earlier in the day. Oh, Aurora likes that one, huh? And he basically like left it on so it turned on automatically when we started the call for the show. Even though he never ever has his webcam on for any shows or podcasts. So he like accidentally did like an incidental face reveal, basically. And people got like super horny for it. Including my girlfriend, apparently.
No.
Yeah, he's really handsome. He's a handsome lad. And I like perpetuated it and kind of made a meme out of it a little bit. And now I feel bad because now he's probably got a bunch of stalkers.
Bunch of tals.
Yeah, a bunch of tals, yeah. Like Xenos in the meta community. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Oh, terrible. Terrible. So there's this title. Diadem is this like crafting and gathering endgame content where they do like seasons, and the top 12 on each server get a unique title. And you have to absolutely like no life craft for like 2 weeks straight to be able to get it.
Is the title like, do you lose it next season or do you have it for good?
No, you have it forever.
Okay.
If you get it in the top 12. But you either have to be botting or you have to like not sleep for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the PvP has seasons as well with seasonal rewards, but they're always like glamour and mounts and stuff like that. So, you know, much cooler stuff than just getting a title. And I think it's ridiculous how much people are killing themselves for this fucking title.
And as Michael's Ethys partially new manager, I'll just let you know that the cards are sold out.
Did you just dox me? Did you just fucking dox me?
Yeah. Only halfway.
Use the title with any glamour amount though? Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it still kind of sucks. Hang on. STW1. I still think it sucks. I still think you should get like, a unique crafting and gathering main hand for whichever you got in the top 12 for, I guess.
Whenever you guys go into traps like that and I heal you one by one, I feel like Snow White giving the 7 dwarves a kiss on the forehead. Off you go.
No, you have Medica, right?
Right.
Oh, be very careful. Okay, we gotta focus down the Scatine because it... Oh, good. I stunned it just in time. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay, and now we're fucked. Now we're fucked. And that's why we don't just run into a room like that. Alright, try to keep him alive. I'm gonna use a Pomander of Lust.
Yeah, I think I pretty much die.
Trying to keep him alive. Trying to keep me alive.
I'm not alive.
What are you doing, Tal? What are you doing? Okay, you got the res. All right, get away. Don't come back in here. Don't pull him again. Never mind. Too late. Okay.
What?
And that is why. That is why we don't run into a room and do big pulls in Palace of the Dead. Oh. Fuck. And then we're back to floor 21. Oh well, too bad. That's like an essential part of the Palace of the Dead learning experience, is running into the middle of a room, hitting a luring trap, and getting gangbanged by like 50 mobs without any way to deal with it. I didn't have a commander to really handle it. How are the two of you feeling about the game so far? Drac, I haven't really like passed your feelings on the game. But where are you at? And you can be honest, we'll only bully you a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, bullying is fine. No, story lore-wise, I like it. Mechanics-wise, global cooldown, I fucking hate that it's 2.5 seconds, and controls feel a bit unresponsive compared to WoW, but other than
I think
that,
that's fair.
I like it.
So the main thing about the GCD is early on it feels really slow and clunky and like hard to adjust to. At endgame, most jobs you're weaving between every single GCD. So you are effectively like using skills every second. It's just having the 2.5 second GCDs a way for like, I guess, new players to sort of ease into the combat rather than like straight out of the gate having to use abilities every second. But you'll find at endgame it's a lot faster and more fluid. Not so much for Paladin. Paladin is one of the slower ones, but if you're keen on tanking and you want something that's more fast and fluid, you should definitely unlock Gunbreaker when you get to 50. Take a crack at that, because I think that would probably be more your speed.
Compared to World of Warcraft, where you push a button and that happens instantly, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Unless it's a
that's what I'm
cast
saying.
spell, of
It's
course,
not a
but
bit
like
unresponsive. It's like I click something and then wait half a second and then I'm doing the thing. And it's like
then you have to wait for the I like the combo system.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like just nailing down your rotation in World of Warcraft, but you don't need to wait for it to refresh and then click the next one, wait, and then you can just like as soon as you have gotten that deck off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at this level, like you've got basically your 1, 2, 3 combo. And normally most jobs you have like 2 of those. One is about managing buffs and debuffs, and the other is like your DPS combo, and you like switch between the 2 of them. But you'll have cooldowns that are all on different cooldowns that basically you're prioritizing them and like weaving in between almost every single GCD. So what you've got at the moment is like the core of the job's rotation, and then you're kind of like building stuff around it. And Ninja in particular, like huge part of Ninja is managing your ninjutsu and the different like buffs and debuffs and abilities of that. And one of them is an ability you need to sustain, which increases your skill speed like massively. So your GCD is like way shorter, and you're weaving on top of that. So it'll get a lot more fluid and faster. Yeah, you just gotta hang in there. But I'm glad you guys are having fun so far.
Yeah. Also, please increase the range on Shield Lob.
Yeah, no, I hear that as well. Well, Provoker's got a much longer range than Shield Lob, so if you're trying to pull things from really far, you can go with the Provoker and then the Shield Lob when they get a little bit closer.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. It's just that as soon as I got Shield Lob, I ran towards a mob, I used it, and by the time I hit, I was in melee range, and it's like...
Yeah.
Not like a waste.
Okay.
But yeah.
Alright,
I like it. It's cool. 8 out of 10 or something.
8 out of 10, IGN.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna mute for a second so I can wrap up. But guys, give Rob a follow on twitch.tv/Ravio. The rest of you jabronis, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you guys had fun tonight. Like I say, it's a bit of a tangent. Trying to get Drac up to speed and then trying to get Rob caught up with Rogue. But I think that's a huge part of the ARR experience, right? And a huge part of the distinction with World of Warcraft is going and like leveling alt jobs through different kinds of content. So I think this is like a good essential part of the experience. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate you guys hanging out. So if you're not subbed to me on YouTube, then please do so. I got lots of lore videos over there. Obligatory shout out to Gamivo for sponsoring. We are apparently sold out on the EU time cards on Gamivo at the moment. But they have an online store that sells Steam codes for pretty much anything you can imagine. They got a really stringent and effective verification process, so it's all like super legitimate stuff and much cheaper than you find on Steam. So if you got any Steam games on your wish list at the moment, then consider checking it out and seeing if you can save some money with them, because if you do so, I get a pretty good kickback for it, and it really helps me out. So it's another way you can help out the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Everyone on YouTube, thank you very much. Sorry it's been so long between parts. We'll get the next part up pretty soon. I love you all, and I will I'll see you in the next thing. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Take care. Be good. Brush your teeth. Bye-bye.